Black Panther is directed by Ryan Coogler, and this movie stars Chadwick Boseman as the King of Wakanda himself, along with Michael B. Jordan and a whole bunch of other really talented people. So this movie pretty much takes place right after Civil War, when T'Challa's father died, and now he has to take his place as the leader of Wakanda. But when outside forces try to interfere with his spot on the throne, the fate of Wakanda and himself are at risk. And along with becoming the new king, he's also dealing with the responsibility of becoming the new Black Panther. One of the reasons I was really looking forward to seeing Black Panther was because they chose Ryan Coogler as the director, and I thought his work on Creed was amazing. That's a movie that pretty much came out of nowhere for me, and I had zero expectations for it, but considering that it was that good, it really surprised me. And I just think it's cool that this movie exists now, and there's so much hype surrounding it, and rightfully so, because this movie is really good. I had a great time with it. I don't think it's perfect, but there's a lot to love here. First of all, Chadwick Boseman is so good as his character. He's definitely one of the more different kind of Marvel characters that we've seen. His performance is a lot more subdued. He's not cracking jokes all the time and being quippy and stuff like Tony Stark or Doctor Strange. He's really different, and in a good way. I love what this movie did with his character because they present him with so many of these challenges that he has to overcome. He has the past of his father as the king, and he made some choices that he didn't necessarily agree with. So with being the king of Wakanda, he has to take on the responsibility of trying to right the wrongs in the past and being his own king. And it was really cool seeing that. I love that this movie went for the more deeper personal aspects of his character. Denai Guerrero and Lupita Nyong'o are also terrific in this film. I love the strong female dynamic that this movie brings. And also I love the character of Shuri. She's just so fun and witty and hilarious, and I hope we see more of her in the future Marvel films. But the real standout that this movie has to offer is Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger. He is easily the most fleshed out and well-developed villain we've had in the MCU since Loki. He's one of those rare kinds of villains we get in these movies where you completely understand his motivations and you can get behind him and you understand the things that he's doing. Yeah, he's a villain and he's killing people, so you're gonna disagree with him, but you just understand his motivations so clearly. The way this movie presents the world through Killmonger's point of view and the way you see how he's gotten to the place that he is and what he's been up against, it was really cool. This movie has a lot of really interesting social commentary as well. This film explores a lot of really interesting messages, like where people's loyalties lie, whether they believe more in their country or in their family, for minorities and oppression and colonization and what third world countries have to deal with. It was just really interesting, and it was fascinating seeing this in a Marvel movie. Also, on the technical side of things, this is a really nice looking movie. Ryan Coogler did a really good job shooting it. It looks gorgeous, the colors jump off the screen. There's some really good visual effects and some not as good visual effects. I'll get into that in a second. But for the most part, they look pretty decent. This movie just made me fall in love with Wakandan culture in general. I really love the costume design in this film. I love the way the world looks and how the characters inhabit it, and it makes it feel like it's a real living world. And that's pretty much the gist of what you're getting. This movie is a really nice looking film with a lot of great characters and some really cool thematic elements as well. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to call this a perfect movie. This is a film that definitely has its issues, particularly in the first half of the movie, because a lot of that section of the film really feels like a rehash of every other superhero movie I've seen. Everything felt really familiar, and it's kind of like they were just sleepwalking through making this film. That was just at least for the first half of it. It gets really good once you get to this scene in the middle between Killmonger and Black Panther. I just thought that first half didn't have the emotional punch that I was looking for, and I wasn't invested in the characters enough yet to really get into the movie. There's some good action sequences. There's this one involving a car chase that's pretty well directed, but ultimately it just feels kind of weightless. It was cool and it was entertaining to watch and all, but I didn't think there was enough happening between the characters at that moment to really get me into it. Unfortunately, this is a very CGI heavy movie, and there's a good chunk of it that doesn't look convincing at all. Like during some of the action sequences, you can tell that you're just watching a green screen or two people fighting and they're just animated with computers. The last fight scene in the film wasn't really that interesting to me. It was a lot of CGI, and it was really dimly lit and you couldn't really see what was going on. It's like the exact same problem that I had with The Defenders Season 1, where some of the action sequences were filmed in really dimly lit areas and they don't show you anything. But gratefully, that's not like how all the action sequences go in this movie, because some of them are really well directed, especially when Killmonger's involved, because Michael B. Jordan is also really charismatic. Also, I'm not sure Everett Ross needs to be in this movie. I get why he's there, but he's not really given a lot to do in the movie, and I feel like they totally could have just written him out of it. So the movie's kind of slow until the second half, and there's a bit of an overutilization of CGI, and I could have used a little more Killmonger, but other than that, I mean, I really enjoyed this movie. I think Black Panther is a really entertaining film with some terrific thematic elements. It has the best villain we've had in the MCU for a really long time. I love the performances in this movie. I fell in love with the Wakandan culture. And Ryan Coogler has made yet another really well-directed movie. I think the best thing about this film is the way it presents its characters and what they're up against and how they've gotten to the place they are in the movie. I thought this movie was a little bit weak when it was just focusing on the action sequences, but it was really strong when it was focused on the characters and the story. And for that reason, I'm going to give Black Panther an 8 out of 10. Definitely go see this one. I had a great time with it. I wouldn't call it one of the best films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I know that's crazy because there's so much hype surrounding it, but it is really good. So guys, those are my thoughts on Black Panther. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Also be sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.